Paid for by Weeby Marketing.
Hoop, there it is.
Land tees up a three. Good from the left angle. High lob to Conant above the foul line. Alley-oop dunk on a give to House. Over to Flan, wing left for three. Good. Boogie needed that.
Your weekly look at Gator basketball and the biggest stories from around the college hardwood.
Pull up for three. Good from the top. Lob shot, top of the arc. Down the lane. Off for the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Foot race to the other end. Lead to the rack. Two-hand dunk for Xavier Lee.
Hoop There It Is presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, your independent premier MRI facility in Gainesville and Lake City. By Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. And by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm of the Florida Gators.
And this place is going nuts.
And brought to you in part by Quality Plumbing, International Diamond Center, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Crystal Air and Water, the UF Bookstore, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Chick-fil-A Archer Road, Campus USA Credit Union, and by Miapa Latin Cafe.
Alongside ESPN college basketball analyst Mark Wise, here's Steve Russell.
It is hard to believe this is our final Hoop There It Is of the year. And it's unusual because usually I'm in the studio and is in some godforsaken place calling a basketball game. we switch roles. Mark's in the studio. I'm in Fayetteville to getting ready for Gator baseball. Welcome to our final Hoop There It Is of the year. Alongside Mark Wise, I'm Steve Russell. Reagan's going to produce the broadcast today. We thank you for tuning in. Mark, it's been a long, long journey. Some great games last night, more coming up tonight. I know folks get your take on what happened with Florida, but it's winding down. We're getting near the end here.
You know, as the madness starts, Steve, everybody talks about that first weekend because their game's starting at noon on Thursday, and then it's just kind of nonstop. But to me, I think the best 2 days of the tournament is this middle weekend, and specifically the Sweet 16, because now you've got all 16 teams who are playing after winning the first 2 games of the NCAA Tournament, which is no small accomplishment in its own right. And so everybody's kind of got to feel good, and if you can figure out a way to survive this weekend, then you're in the Final Four. So I thought the games last night went pretty much according to what I thought would happen, with the exception probably of Illinois. Not that Illinois won, but I thought Illinois' defense was actually better than Houston's, and the score in the game was so low, which I thought would favor Houston. But Illinois just grinded out that 10-point win. Other than that, I thought the games kind of went the way I thought they would. I thought I got asked this earlier in the week, which SEC team did I think had the best chance of winning in the Sweet 16, and I said Texas. And I thought that played out last night. As a matter of fact, you look at the numbers, I don't know how Texas lost. They were plus 21 in a 3-point differential. I get it. Purdue shot a high percentage, but the field goals were the same. The free throws weren't that big of a disparity. Texas didn't turn the ball over. They just didn't make plays at the end, and let me rephrase that. It was almost like Purdue kept getting in late in the game. If it were a tennis match, we would say that Purdue kept getting an ad. You know, it was after 40-all, it was then add Purdue, and Texas could never get that ad point late in the game to kind of set up a match point. So, again, the games tonight, I think I've got my eye really on 2. I'm anxious to see what St. John's can do with Duke the second time around. And then I think Michigan State has a real shot at UConn. So I think the games tonight will be just as compelling, and we're in the madness now is all around us. So everybody's fan base is hopeful that they can continue on in this marvelous 3-week journey.
Yeah, games last night were really good. Don't forget, today, if you have any Facebook Live questions, Reagan gets them to us, brought to you by the UF Bookstore. YouTube questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm Insurance. And you can call us up on the Campus USA phone line, 855. Let's do our Gator game recap, brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center, just steps away from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. You can go online for details and booking. Mark, we've not had a chance to talk,
Right.
since that game. And certainly, Iowa proved itself by winning again last night. But your thoughts on that game?
Well, everybody's going to focus on the last play of the game. There's no question that was a horribly executed defensive stand on the last play. I'm also convinced, I'm 98% sure that's not what was drawn up in the huddle. The only thing I would have disagreed with, I didn't think Brown being on the inbounder out of bounds really served any purpose there. It's not a last-second situation where you're trying to deflect a long pass. So everything that could go wrong in that possession did go wrong. Fland face guarding, but then to trail and to allow Sturt to get the ball going down the floor. And then at midcourt, it was almost like Florida was in a defensive rotation already. And it just led to a really quick, wide open three that Iowa knocks it down and goes on to win. So the last possession offensively, I didn't think was very good, but that's hard to gauge in those kinds of situations where you're trying to score in 94 feet and 4 seconds to go. I would have preferred Lee to somewhat stay in the middle of the floor to create some options to go right or left. Once he went up the sideline, he was really limited. But I want to go back to this, and I want to draw everybody's attention to this because really the game, in my view, Florida had a chance to squash Iowa in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They had multiple opportunities to make that a 2-possession game. Of the Florida's last 9 possessions, they went 2 for 4 from the field. They made 2 layups. They missed their 2 3-point shots. As a matter of fact, the one that Houck missed was really a good look. Could have taken that from a 1-point game, I believe, to a 4-point game, or 1 possession to 2 possession. They had 3 turnovers. They missed. They went to the free throw line twice. Missed the front end, and then, of course, Brown misses the back end, which sets up the whole play at the end, because if he makes both free throws, even if Iowa makes a 3-point shot, you're in overtime. So it was interesting to me that Iowa was so good at controlling tempo. According to KenPom, that game had 61 possessions. That was the lowest paced game by that measurement that Florida was in all year, only 61 possessions. The national average in a game is around 70, 71. So they controlled tempo, and when you control tempo, I thought it kind of negated Florida's front court. Florida's front court needs a lot of shots on goal in order for them to dominate, get on the glass, second chance opportunities, points in the paint, etc. But by playing that low possession game, I thought it negated some of Florida's front court. Again, it comes down it comes down to making shots. It's a making shot tournament, and Florida didn't make shots the way they did a year ago in this tournament run.
Email from Mark. Mark, since the buzzer sounded, I've watched and listened to what seems like countless college basketball analysts, coaches, and players get their take on Golden's decision to press. What I found most demoralizing is you get to hear one of them say decision to press with the intent to foul was a good idea. Unfortunately, poorly executed by the players. So I ask you, Mark, if you were the head coach, what would you have done?
Okay, here's what I would tell you. As I was watching the game and during the timeout, I thought, man, if the ball gets to the wrong person's hands, I would be really tempted to foul. It was actually a thought that I had. I think it's the way that staff thinks in terms of analytics. I'm all for that situation, and I'll tell you why. Because I want to control the last shot, and so you're up in that situation. But I want more time. Anyway, it didn't play out that way. You just can't allow the guy to get the first pass 25, 30 feet up the floor going downhill immediately. That was my whole situation in terms of you've got to keep the ball in front of you. If you'll notice on the flip side, when Florida had the 4-point whatever trying to score in response, Iowa had all kinds of guys around the midcourt line, just really made it hard to find any space. I would be more tempted to do it that way. I didn't like the pressing. I like the idea, the thought process analytically of fouling.
Tampa Mike says how sweet it would have been for Florida to matched up against Illinois for a trip to the Final Four. Didn't they have a preseason scrimmage? I think the Final Four will be Arizona, Illinois, Duke, and Michigan. Should be tremendous. Who do you like to make it? Thanks for all your contributions this year. Great show with Hoop There It Is. Really enjoy it.
Those are very kind words. The way Arizona played last night, and when we get to our awards today, Steve, all of them will be of the year. So just so you know that, we'll instead of the week like we've done for the last 3 months. I don't see how you can go away from chalk at this point in time. The interesting one, of course, is the South now with Florida and Houston. And that brings up now out of the tournament. Remember, Steve, when everybody was talking about, well, Florida may have to beat Houston in Houston. Well, that's, again, I want to draw everybody's attention. You can only play the opponent in front of you. So the fact that we're going to have Iowa and Illinois now playing for the right to go to the Final Four, that I don't know how many people had that on their bingo card.
Play of the Week brought to you by Quality Plumbing. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all.
Well, my play of the year, I'm going to go back to the Auburn-Texas A&M game that I had in early January when Auburn made the shot that was taken away. Think about the trajectory that game put those two teams on, Steve. Because by winning that game, A&M started league play 2-0 with a road win. And Auburn started the season 0-2 in the league and really had a hard time recovering from that game. Really set themselves up, I think, for some hard luck in other games. But I just think that play was so unique and really changed the fortunes of the direction that those two programs had this basketball season.
Coach of the Year brought to you by International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond when you can get the best diamonds at the best prices. Quality, selection, and value. International Diamond Center is the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Coach of the Year, Mark.
Well, I got to tell you, to win a Sweet 16 game, and I think Arizona, took 8 3-point attempts last night. They're not following the Wise theory and winning games in the NCAA tournament, but they're dominating games. I mean, I think Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. Remember, that's who Florida started this season with. So I just think they've been good from day one. They survived a patch where they had to deal with an injury. They're back healthy. I just think they're so dominating right now. They're the ones that I picked. ESPN sends out an email the first week of the NCAA tournament and says, who are your Final Four picks? I had Arizona, Michigan, Duke, and Houston. And I took Houston because of the what I perceived, like everybody else, a home court advantage that did not play out last night. So those were my picks, but I'm going to give the award to Tommy Lloyd, head coach at Arizona.
All right, let's go to our Campus USA Credit Union phone line. Daryl is there. Daryl, hi.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. Mark, couple questions for you. You hear of new bloods and blue bloods. Do you think the Florida job now is amongst the blue bloods like North Carolina and Dukes and teams like that?
Well, Daryl, any conversation about recruiting, and that's really what this is about, right? It's about what you've done on the floor and what kind of players you get year in and year out. That creates the blue blood list, does it not? I think on the floor, and in this day and age of the rev share and NIL, and remember those are two different pots, but they kind of lump together to pay the players in this day and age. if you're going to have to show me at some point in time who is spending how much money. And because it's baseball. It's about why do the Pittsburgh Pirates, why are they never in the playoffs? And so college basketball has got a baseball problem without being transparent, without a salary cap. So for me to answer that question, has Florida done enough over the last 20 years to be considered a blue blood? Absolutely. Moving forward, who knows?
Yeah. Hey, real quick, out of 2 teams left in the tournament from the SEC, would you say Tennessee's probably got the best chance of advancing? Thank you, guys.
Daryl, thank you.
All right. Thank you. I guess they do from a matchup perspective, but Iowa State turns you over. Tennessee has had an issue with turnovers all season long. I just don't think you can shed your skin that easily in the NCAA tournament. Alabama, I really believe Alabama could make 15 threes tonight and still get beat by 15. That's how good I think Michigan is. So if you're asking me I have to absolutely choose, I would choose Tennessee.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Much more hoop. There it is to come. Stay with us here as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Nevia Baker-Harris. 13 Gators came back for Football Pro Day. These Gators are determined to give their best as every NFL team is showing up, with 68 NFL personnel to boot. Softball is looking to continue their SEC win streak against number 10 Arkansas during their series this weekend. Coverage on the first game will start at 6:40 p.m. on WRUF. Despite Florida's win over Florida State during their last game, baseball coach Kevin O'Sullivan believes the Gators need to step up.
It's a valuable lesson, and it's not going to get any easier when we go to Fayetteville. But we're going to continue to talk about this day in and day out, and the play that we hopefully this is a kickstart in the right direction.
Gators will start their series against number 4 Arkansas tonight, with coverage starting at 6:55 p.m. on WRUF.
The commitment from IDC to first responders is really extraordinary.
Veteran firefighter Johnny Hinton talks about International Diamond Center's ongoing support for our heroes in uniform.
IDC has helped us raise just massive amounts of money.
Johnny says in addition to corporate gifts to support charity fundraisers, IDC is there every day, helping first responders with an extra 15% discount on any purchase.
Again, thank you guys so much.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's tip-off time, Alachua County. The gym is alive, the crowd is loud, and basketball season is heating up. From fast breaks to buzzer beaters, basketball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the court or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season on and off the court. Let's go! go!
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Puts up a runner right of the lane, banks it off, tip by Kaufman. Red is good! 0.7 to go! Inbound right side poke, three-quarter court at the horn is no good! And Purdue wins!
The Sweet 16 continues tonight after Gator Baseball, right here on WRUF.
From the first 4 to the final 4, the NCAA Tournament lives on WRUF.
Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists built from concrete and steel, precision and grit. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. And Steve, I wanted to ask you before we get started in this segment, you know, I'm pretty quirky about my travel, and I travel with my own pillow, but I didn't know anybody traveled with their own curtain.
You like that?
Where did you get that curtain?
You like that? You should. Since you brought this up, where we are staying here in Fayetteville is one of the quirkiest places. You should see some of the pictures in this place. There's one you walk down the hall that says "Beer is good."
Well, you know, keep it simple.
So,
keep it simple.
Yeah. So there you are. That's yeah. Okay. We don't book them. We stay in them. Right?
We go where we're towed, as my mother-in-law used to say.
That's right. All right. Welcome back to There It Is. Time now for our hottest team of the year, brought to you by Castaway Sauce Company. Hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate, available at your local Publix or CastawaySauceCompany.com.
My hottest team of the year, if you make it through the regular season undefeated, I think that certainly qualifies. So Miami of Ohio, so glad that they got in the NCAA tournament. And I can speak about NCAA tournament expansion until I'm blue in the face, but I'm glad they got in. It was a wonderful job by Travis Steele in terms of navigating that. I don't care who you play. Going through the regular season is a special accomplishment. And remember this, folks, Miami of Ohio, in order to go undefeated in the regular season, they went 14-0 on the road. Now think about that. 14 wins on the road. Quite a special year.
No doubt. By the way, if you have Facebook Live questions, courtesy of UF Bookstore, YouTube questions, courtesy of Rizal State Farm, Reagan will get them to us. Our Campus USA phone line, that's where Bernard is. Bernard, hello.
Hey, man, how you doing? Hey, Mark, been a pleasure, Mark. When this thing started, I told you I was going with Arizona. I just think they were the best. And also, Mark, these Gator fans kept calling about playing Houston and Houston. Ever since Calvin Sampson's been there, they get in these games, Mark, and the offense deserves them. They just don't make enough shots. That's been Kevin Sampson trademark. And two more. Nate Oakes as a candidate for the North Carolina job. Are they looking to get put on probation, Mark? and lastly, Steve interviewed Seth Greenberg earlier this week, and Seth Greenberg said Florida waited to after their run last year to start recruiting, I guess, the portal, and they didn't take care of some of the needs they were lacking in some areas.
Right.
My question to you, Mark, is what area did this current year's team was lacking in?
again, on paper, I thought they would be a better shooting team. On paper, I thought Condon would be a stretch 4. That did not materialize. We've talked about the guards and their struggles in the first 2 months of the season ad nauseum, really, in terms of their shooting in the 20 percentile. So in terms of it's an interesting point you bring up, Bernard, from last year to this year, because the portal opening does not happen until April 6th this year. Last year it happened, I think, what would be this past Monday. So not only were you still playing in the NCAA tournament, but you were trying to work in the portal at the same time. I am so glad they moved that. So now I get it. Players are announcing on social media that I'm going in the portal. You can't stop that. But the portal officially doesn't open until April 6th. I think that's good news for college basketball coaches.
Yeah, Mark, I was going to say this. Boogie Flan is coming back. I think that's good for Florida.
Yeah.
And he's going to be the primary ball handler. I think they didn't work that out, but they need to now go and get him a guy 6'4", 6'5", can play offense and defense. They don't need to come back next year with 2 smallest guards in the back court. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. You know, Bernard, if you've listened to me over the years, I wouldn't say Florida had small guards, but they weren't physical guards. The Will Richards, the Martins of the world, they don't. When you say a 6'4", 6'5" guy that plays on both ends, those don't grow on trees. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that can do that in the country. So would it be nice to have one of those guys? Absolutely. I'm sure that's what they'll be working on. In order to work the portal forward, first of all, you have to work your own team. So it'll be interesting to see who might come back and who might not from this year's team. I don't think Hanlogden can come back. I don't think Lee can come back. But the others, we'll wait and see.
All right, Bernard, you take care, man. We'll talk again next year. Later.
All right, thanks for listening all season, man.
Games to watch brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coca-Cola with 0 sugar and 0 calories.
Well, again, let's start with tonight's game, St. John's at Duke. Duke may get a little bit healthier. That would certainly help them. But there's something about St. John's, the role that they're on, the role definition of the players.
I like the Johnnies, Mark.
I think the Johnnies have a shot at Duke. I really do. Michigan, in my opinion, is too complete for Alabama. Michigan State, to me, when I looked at all 68 teams, the hardest team for me to gauge was UConn, because I just don't know how they're going to play from one game to the next. Do they run great stuff? Yes. If Caravan goes 4 for 8 like he did in the last round from deep, UConn will win that game. Guess what? I don't think Michigan State's going to allow that. I think Michigan State's got a shot at UConn. And if I knew Tennessee would cut down on their turnovers, I would give them a shot against Iowa State, but I like Iowa State in that game. So that's tonight's list. Yeah.
Yep. We'll take a break, come back, more hoop. There it is, our final one of the year, as you listen here on WRUF.
From the first 4 to the final 4, the NCAA Tournament lives on WRUF.
By now you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Why did the Chick-fil-A cross Archer Road? So you don't have to. Chick-fil-A now has the pleasure to serve you from both sides of Archer Road. Both locations include drive-through and carry-out options, or dine in at the Chick-fil-A on the north side of Archer Road. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we're open at 6 a.m. with drive-through open until 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A also caters. We'll bring our original chicken sandwich, delicious dipping sauces, and famous Chick-fil-A lemonade to you. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken.
Sure, seasons change, and that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too, and for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
That's the buzzer. And on Hard Rock Bet, buzzer beaters mean bonus bets. Every time a team you bet to win or cover hits a game-winning buzzer beater, you score a $25 bonus bet, an extra $25 on top of your winnings. Just opt in and bet $5 on any team. As many teams as you want, all tourney. Win bonus bets at the buzzer, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
With 5, looks up, driving in, May for the win! North Carolina! With 0.3 seconds to go! An incredible shot!
The Sweet 16 continues tonight after Gator Baseball, right here on WRUF.
The NCAA Tournament continues tonight on WRUF.
At Titan MRI and Imaging, you'll visit the only locally owned and operated MRI imaging center in town. Start feeling better today. It's your choice. TitanMRI.com.
Welcome back to our final hoop. There it is of the year. And it's time for the Baller of the Year, brought to you by Electronics World, integration and design specialists for smart home automation and entertainment. Let Electronics World bring the Florida Gator basketball, baseball, softball, and NBA to your living room. You can find out more at electronicsworld.com. Baller of the Year, Mark.
This is the first time I've ever done this, Steve, with this particular award. I'm giving it to the freshman class that we were privileged to watch all season long. Whether you're talking about Peterson or DeBonzo or Boozer, the Pete and Burries at Arizona, Kingston Flemings at Houston, Nate Ament, Malik Thomas, and the list goes on and on. But the baller that I enjoyed watching of that group that I saw in person this year, Darius Acuff. I mean, that dude is special. He only went for 28 in a game that they really had very little chance to win last night. He was that good and has been that good. But that freshman class this year, it's going to be a long time, I think, before we see one to match the high basketball play that class has given us this season.
Totally agree with you, Mark. Spot on. Let's go to our Campus USA phone line. That's where Ed is. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Mark and Steve. To follow up on the point you just made, I think in one of the most recent draft projections, freshmen and I guess some Euros make up like 14 of the top 16 players this year.
Right.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Thomas Houck probably is just on the outside of that, but don't be surprised if he sneaks into that group.
Yeah. And one thing looking back and one looking toward next year, did we see a 5-out offense all year? Because it didn't look like our personnel was set to handle it well.
No. They're not a 5, not with Chenyalu and Hanlogden, no. I mean, they'll get out and be some of that high-low look, but I wouldn't call it a true 5-out offense, no.
And I can't remember if anybody played that against us earlier this year, did they? A 5-out offense?
I mean, Arkansas comes to mind. Alabama comes to mind because they do that with Sherrell. I'd have to go down the list and think about that. Texas A&M definitely does that. So, yes, Florida had seen that before, yes.
Okay. And looking at next year, the person that came to mind, maybe for the shooting guard spot or the other guard, do you think A.J. Brown can help us next year?
It's going to depend on player development. And you just kind of you're asking a question, Ed, that I was really comfortable answering about 5 years ago. But I am so uncertain in this day of the portal and NIL and rev share, I just don't know.
Yeah, hopefully he's healthy enough, and then we'll just have to see how it plays out. But,
right.
Thanks a lot for doing the show all year. It's been great.
All right, I appreciate that very much.
Appreciate it. Let's get Byron here. Byron, hello.
Hey, Coach Wise, Steve, man. When Steve left me, Coach Wise, I kind of went into a shell for a few months there, and now you leaving. I'm going, man. I'm going to need some earth, wind, and fire for this. Coach, I hear you, man.
Hey, so, Byron, I want you to know right now, I've told the story that I didn't see Earth, Wind, and Fire last year until late December. I have already corrected that for 2026. Tickets have been bought.
Oh, man.
So I will be seeing them, and not too, I think I'm seeing them in Tallahassee, as a matter of fact.
I might run into you. Well, let me
That'd
get
be
to
great.
Sports. Coach, if you know Myron Metcalf, get on him, because let me tell you guys where this started. I woke up like the other Sunday morning, and before Hubert Davis got fired, they were already starting this stuff in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And let me say this, Steve, to y'all. We got to be a new blue blood, because when North Carolina comes looking at your coach, something's changed, and Florida's doing good. But I want to ask you this and get up here real quick, coaches. Now that we've arrived, on Hubert Davis, they were asking the fans, that's how Coach Golden come up, who do you hire? And I don't know, and I don't really care, but do you think they did that a little prematurely? Was that a good move? Because I thought Hubert might be doing pretty decent there with the Dukes and them. But okay, and I'll let you go. I'm gonna miss you, Coach.
Thank you, Byron. I'll answer that this way. And I don't, I'm not wired at North Carolina. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So if there's something that's amiss there, I'm not aware of it. But if North Carolina had Caleb Wilson, and he's one of the freshmen I left off that list, by the way, I don't think they lose that game in the NCAA tournament. And if they don't lose that game, is Hubert Davis let go? I don't know. But it just reeks to me of letting go of Hubert Davis, the same reason that Matt McMahon was let go at LSU. And I don't want to get into the Will Wade coming back. I don't want to go down that path. But you're basically letting people go with their best players hurt. You're firing people for bad luck. So I'm not a big fan of that, no.
Greg, has the lack of finesse in men's college basketball hurt the game? You can literally see a player put his form in the back of an opponent illegal block in the back in football. So what should the college game do about it, if anything?
If the only way out of this, and the game is too physical, it's ridiculous the way it's played down in what I call the high rent district. If you listen to me do games, that's one of my phrases that I use. That means the painted area, block to block. It's just way too physical. There is only one way out of this. You've got to have a couple of years where you blow more whistles. And the NCAA is really quick to point out that when the officials blow their whistle, they are correct 93% of the time. What they never talk about are the plays where the whistle was not blown. And right now, that's at 0%. So if you want to clean the game up and you want to make it less physical, the only way forward, the only way where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel is that you got to have more fouls. I would even be willing in the college game to entertain a sixth foul disqualification. So move to 6 fouls, but you got to call the fouls, because all you got to do is just watch tonight's game on any free throw and watch what the two offensive players are doing when that ball leaves the shooter's hand. They're basically just pushing the block-out guys in the back. I mean, it's ridiculous. The physicality has gotten to a ridiculous point.
We'll take a final break, come back, and wrap up Hoop There It Is for today and for the year as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Nyla Close. Florida football held their annual Pro Day yesterday with 68 NFL personnel. Draft prospect J. Michael Sturdivant returned for Pro Day, speaking of his excitement.
Yeah, I think the combine, it was a nice showing. You know, it's fun to get out there and go test athletically. So just being able to come back to the swamp and run a couple more routes was definitely the plan.
Florida softball is headed into a 3-day series this weekend, facing Arkansas in a top 10 showdown. For today's coverage, tune in to WRUF at 6:40 p.m. In other Gator news, UF baseball is also facing Arkansas this weekend, but under different circumstances. This is their first time meeting again since 2024, and the stakes are high. For coverage, tune in to WRUF tonight at 6:55.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at IGDWEX.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to, thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money, and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
Sure, seasons change, and that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too, and for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Hot this afternoon with highs in the upper 80s. Will stay warm into the evening. Mostly clear skies turning partly cloudy overnight. Lows near 60 in the morning. A front arrives tomorrow, becoming quite windy with gusts to about 30 miles an hour. Cooler temperatures as well. Highs for our Saturday in the mid to upper 70s. Staying breezy again for us on Sunday. High Sunday in the lower to mid 70s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
Missed it! Oh no! Boozer! He missed! Step up now! No, get it! And then it was! They've done it! Indiana's done it! The Hoosiers have beaten them!
Coverage of the Elite Eight continues Sunday afternoon right here on WRUF.
From the First Four to the Final Four, the NCAA Tournament lives on WRUF.
Meldon Law, with 55 years of experience, the only accident and injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law won't back down.
I forgot all about that, Mark. My bad. I was so excited because we're in our last segment here. Reagan, if you could just give me a time. I have to get out, and I'll make sure I do that. One last email, Mark. It's from Brian. It's really long. So, Brian, there's no chance in the world I'm going to read this all. You want to know about Will Wade. You didn't want to get into that. Your thoughts about Billy D maybe going back into coaching?
I would find it hard to believe that Billy Donovan would go back into college coaching. It is interesting to note that the college game from a acquisition of players is more like the pro game now. So would that make a difference? I don't know. I haven't talked with him about it. The Will Wade thing is just I'm not a fan of, again, if we're going to criticize players in the portal, then the same criticism has to be applied to coaches. And so when coaches scream about, the USF coach who screams about tampering and then a week later he's coaching somewhere else, I just have a hard time with that. So I may be a little too old school for all the moving around, but that's the hill I'm willing to die on right now.
Instead of the Gators' next opponent, we'll talk about the Gators next year, brought to you by Miapa Latin Cafe. Remember, at all the home games, when the Gators won, you won a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. That was a lot of fun to do. A lot of people are wanting to know, Mark, Chinulu come back, whatever. It's hard to project next year when we don't know those things yet.
I think that's correct, Steve. I think the only thing that we know that I would slide into this column right now is Florida is going to play in the Players Era tournament in Las Vegas next year. That begins, I think a multi-year commitment to that tournament. That tournament is expanding to 32 teams. It's around Thanksgiving. Teams already signed up include Gonzaga, Michigan, St. John's, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, and so on. So it's gonna be the premier event, I think, in the college basketball landscape in that feast week, if you will, as what ESPN calls it, if they can figure out how to get fans in the stands. That's the only thing missing from that tournament. Am I for players getting paid in a tournament setting like that? Absolutely. But here's what I also want to come back to. I want to say a couple of things real quick before we get off. One is the NIT. Everybody talks about the NIT as if it's such a negative thing. No, it is not the tournament you want to be in. But I believe if you get asked to be in the NIT, you should play in the NIT. So I'm giving a lot of props to Stephen Pearl and Auburn for playing in the NIT, and now they're getting to go to Indianapolis in the Final Four. And I loved his quote about, he didn't want to take his ball and go home. He didn't want to have that kind of mentality. And if we're going to pay players, then part of that has to be the postseason, in my view. And if you don't want your last check, then you can opt out. Otherwise, I think it has to be tied together.
Mark, got about 2 minutes. It looks harder for Cinderella to advance in the tournament because
no question.
Part of the money.
Yep.
What can be done about that, if anything, or do you see this trend continuing?
I think only by, I don't want to get into this now. We'll do this in the summer by expanding the tournament. But of the 8 new invites, 4 of them have to come from outside the power conferences. You have to guarantee some entries, in my view. The fact that Miami of Ohio was undefeated and was in the first 4 is not right. So I think you've got to do something along those lines. Okay, before I forget, Steve, thanks to you. Thanks to Freddie and Kevin, all the people behind the scenes here. Most of all, thanks to the fans. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching us or however you catch us. I've always talked about that the basketball season is a journey. And if you're a Florida Gator fan, the end was not what you wanted. But the journey was pretty darn good.
It was. And let me echo what you just said about thanking people, most especially you, my friend, for taking the time. Lord knows this guy's busy enough doing his ESPN stuff, taking the time to be on with us and talk to you. It's been a pleasure for years to do this, and we can continue for a long time to come. I want to end with another quick thing. You mentioned about expanding the tournament, Mark. I don't know where the NIL thing is going to be. But, again, the smaller schools don't have a shot here.
No chance. No chance.
Right? So the only way to do it is by expanding the tournament.
Yep.
And then you have to let them in.
The other thing that I hope gets addressed, I don't know how it gets fixed, but there's such a scheduling disparity between what the mid-majors can get and what the big boys are getting. So I would love to see some sort of event, bring back bracket busters, and let a mid-major go play. You pick the teams, but there's got to be a way where we can present more scheduling opportunities. The Players Era Festival, of the 32 teams, could we not give 4 of them to mid-major programs? So I just think if we're going to have a disparity in spending, which we have, and we're going to have a disparity in scheduling, which we have, if those don't get fixed, yes, Cinderella is going bye-bye.
And I am looking forward to having Mark back later towards the summertime, because these are topics that we can really delve into, and really looking forward to that. But again, Reagan, thanks to you today for producing. She'll be producing Sports Scene here when we are done here. But my friend, Mark, thank you very much for doing this. And for those who are listening, as you said, however you're doing that, we appreciate you doing that as well. Sports Scene is going to come up next. Got a good show here. We are from Fayetteville, where Gators softball and baseball are. Very unusual. They're here in the same time. That's coming up next. Stay with us as you listen on WRUF.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground. And I won't back down.
All season long, right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
Why did the Chick-fil-A cross Archer Road? So you don't have to. Chick-fil-A now has the pleasure to serve you from both sides of Archer Road. Both locations include drive-through and carry-out options, or dine in at the Chick-fil-A on the north side of Archer Road. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we're open at 6 a.m. with drive-through open until 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A also caters. We'll bring our original chicken sandwich, delicious dipping sauces, and famous Chick-fil-A lemonade to you. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken.
By now you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed